Well, hello and welcome to a new video where we are going to test the performance of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown on the Nvidia Quadro T2000 graphics card inside a DELL Precision 5540, and we are playing this at 1080p with the medium settings preset, if this ever is going to load here. And this system has an i9-9880H 8-core CPU, as well as 32 GB of dual-channel memory as well. So we shouldn't have any problem running into VRAM issues due to the fact that our graphics card only has 4 GB of VRAM, which is the minimum required amount in this game. And yeah, seeing 18 FPS here is pretty harsh. I just tested it on my 16900 XT AMD CPU and got, what, I think it was at least 70 FPS in this scene. So this is probably going to be pretty rough when we're actually driving outside. But funnily enough, the T2000 was actually the first graphics card here where I didn't get any error or warning messages about outdated drivers or anything, even though I haven't updated the drivers in quite a while. So let's go and take this little puppy for a test drive and just check in 1 second what graphics settings we're actually on here. This is taking really long to load, and I'm curious if that's actually having to do anything with the GPU that is being used here, or if it's actually my my SSD in the DELL Precision, which is quite a bit slower than the ones that I have in my ThinkPad as well as in my desktop PC. So that obviously could be the case, but it is interesting just how much longer this takes to load. All right. Options, and let's see. Okay, 1080p without any VSync, because that would suck. No, FSR2 actually is enabled. We don't want that, and we don't want that either for now. All right, medium settings, medium all around, and the 1080p resolution, obviously. All right. And this really does not feel all that great, I will admit. I mean, you can see the frame time graph, which is looking pretty spiky here, but that's actually just due to the fact that we're simply having so little FPS that it can't possibly look very smooth. But that doesn't really mean that you feel any of these spikes here. And to be quite frank, if it wouldn't have 16 FPS, but instead something like, let's say 24 FPS, it would actually feel pretty playable here. But yeah, with these 15 FPS here, obviously you don't want to play a race at these kind of settings, I guess. And it's only going to get worse the more we are getting into the big city. So let's just try to make a left turn here if I can. Oh, but it is really hard. Oh, the card is struggling. It is struggling, yeah. All right, okay, but around the 15 to 17 FPS at 1080p native and medium settings, I guess that is then. All right, I'm gonna hop out real quick to the car sale and just turn the settings down a notch. Let's see if we can actually play this at least at, I don't know if we want to go to 900p or if we want to turn on the settings first and see how much that will make a difference. But yeah, the loading screens is so long for this system here. Like, as I played it on my desktop, you basically have no loading screen at all, which is very nice, obviously. Okay, but let's go ahead and turn down the graphics. I think I'm just gonna turn it down to 900p for now. and don't change anything else and see how well this runs. Even though, I mean, 900p, that's probably not going to make that much of a difference. It's probably going to be around 20 FPS now. So let's just see how much better it runs. Yeah, these loading screens are very annoying here. I mean, obviously there are games which are way worse than what we're seeing here, but really, if you compare it to my other system, which basically has instantaneous gameplay where you just drop in, that is obviously the nicer way to play here. Okay, yeah, so around the 90 FPS. So basically what I predicted, but it could be dropping, and it really doesn't feel any smoother than before. Even though we're at 23 FPS here, 24, basically a cinematic experience here. Okay, but that actually doesn't feel... you can feel the latency so bad, and it's really hard to drive here. So yeah, you definitely won't be playing or driving and going to go racing with these settings. So let's go ahead and turn down the graphics to low. And I really like that you actually have the ability to simply switch the graphics here while being in game and don't have to restart anything. That is great. So props to the developers for this one. Alright, 900p in low settings. And I'm seeing some graphical bugs here. And the game really... it doesn't look all that great, doesn't look all that terrible. But I think I wouldn't really want to play this game with these settings here. And does it actually feel playable? I mean, it feels a little bit smoother. I mean, 25 FPS. Okay, let's just go ahead and also use FSR here. Give the graphics card every assistant we have. Okay, FSR with the medium settings here, with the balanced preset, and holy guacamole, it looks like we turned down the resolution by half right now. So FSR really doesn't look all that great here. And it's still only 25 FPS, Jesus. Okay, after this round, after this test drive is over, I will go ahead and go to the 720p settings for the last option available. I will definitely deactivate FSR for this one because I don't really think you can see anything but a pixelated mess if you actually use FSR at 720p then. But yes, so far this really doesn't look good for the 1650. I mean, it is actually not a super weak card. Even by nowadays standards, I like it a lot. And obviously 1650, T2000 are basically the same graphics card. So you can expect the same performance here. Okay, but all right, let's do this then. Get to the settings really quick. Set this to 720p. Turn off FSR. Alright. Say yes. I mean, I just love how fast you can implement the new graphic settings. That is really awesome. I mean, even though the performance is absolute garbage in this game, but the implementation of the quality settings and how well you can just change them around is absolutely great. But yeah, this game really does struggle on high-end systems as well. So even my 6900 XT had problems at 1440p to get over 60 FPS at the ultra setting. So I guess just keep that in mind when you're thinking about the performance of the T2000 here. All right, and 720p definitely is just something that I would use as last resort, because even at 1080p, this game, at least on a big screen, does look quite pixelated. And holy guacamole, what is even going on here? Why does it still look so terrible? Oh, I guess we are now firmly throttling. Okay, my GPU is also firmly throttling here as well, going down to 30 watts or even lower here right now. So in that case, obviously it won't be able to give us the best performance, or the actual performance it would give us at 40 watts. But yeah, even at 720p here, this doesn't look all that playable. So I'm sorry, Quadro T2000 graphics card users and 1650 graphics card users, but I don't really believe that you can play this game with ease, and I think you will struggle quite a lot here as well.